let's listen.
Okay, well, good afternoon. Little history on me, I guess. First of all, my real name is Craig Janos, and I grew up in the Detroit area. My parents moved to the city of Warren back in 1958. Just happened to be about 2 miles away from the General Motors Technical Center, which plays a factor later in my life. Being a kid growing up, I also played baseball, Little League Baseball from 62 to about 68. And in 1967, our team was the Warren City champs of the 14 and under division, which was quite a thrill for us. The year later, the Detroit Tigers won the World Series, so we used to follow baseball a lot. And by the late 60s, we used to listen to music all the time. The top 40 stuff was all the rage back then. CKLW, WKNR had the music lists. Every week we'd go up to the stores and see what was number one. And the first records I ever bought was about 1967, and I still got them. I still collect a lot of vinyl. But I was also very interested in how cars were styled. There was a lot of good-looking cars back then, and you were either a Ford guy, a GM guy, or a Chrysler guy. But right out of high school, I went to Wayne State, studied drawing there, basic drawing, and eventually got into their industrial design program. But I ultimately dropped out for a couple of years, and worked as a draftsman, and I got tired of the drafting stuff, and I thought, I better go think about going back to school. I graduated from CCS in May of '81. By June of '81, fortunately, I got hired in at General Motors Technical Center, again, 2 miles away from where my parents moved in 1958. So fortunately, I hired in as a creative designer at General Motors. And I worked there for 32 years and retired just a few years ago. The first I had known anything about Nicholson was in 1969. My buddy and I, we got our licenses back in '69. He knew a gal in class that worked as an usher in one of the theaters around town. And I just remember vaguely one Saturday night, it was busy as all get up, she snuck us into the movie theater to watch Easy Rider. So it was the first exposure to Jack Nicholson. That they were going to be filming the movie Hoffa in Detroit, at least some scenes in Hoffa. So naturally, they were looking for hundreds and hundreds of extras. I managed to get on a couple of sets. And it was a big scene shot at Cobo Arena. And I smuggled my camera inside an orange juice container just in case I could get a chance to take a couple of shots of Nicholson or Danny DeVito, whatever. And at the end of the night, it's a long story, but the Teamsters had given Jack and Danny DeVito jackets that said Friends of Hoffa, Teamsters such and such, and they started taking pictures of them. They were allowed to take pictures. So I ran down there with my camera. I got in front of all these people and did my best to focus in on Jack just to get one good shot. As I was focusing in on him, he turned and looked right down the lens of my camera until I took the picture. It's a priceless picture for me. Channel 2, Marcus Red Fox, where Hoffa was last seen alive, and Star Theaters decided to have a look-alike, sound-alike contest. And I found out about it through some people at work. I got my picture in, and the actual contest was held in the basement of the Marcus Red Fox, and I won the contest. A few months later, I went out to California, Los Angeles, for a vacation, and one Saturday night I got dressed up, and I actually fooled a bunch of people at a big restaurant right across the street from UCLA. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. So we took headshots and whatnot and got to know some agents and then started doing some work. And then there was a lookalike contest in 1994, nationwide lookalike contest at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Me and just happened another guy in Detroit, we were 2 of the 20 finalists at the MGM Grand. We got a chance to meet all these fantastic lookalikes from across the country, kept in touch with a lot of them. It was really a lot of fun. From there, we used to do a lot of Oscar parties. And some of Jeff Daniels, at the time Jeff Daniels was doing these comedy golf outings. Some of his people saw me and Marilyn Monroe on the Oscars, and he contacted us for his golf outings, and his golf outings were like Dumb and Dumber Go Golfing. The whole idea was to screw with the golfers and mess them up and have a good time. Oh, the NBA Finals in 2004. Lakers versus the Pistons. The Pistons won the series in 5 games. Jack Nicholson actually came out here to Detroit for the 5th game, and the Pistons put it away. But they did a split screen on network TV with me and Jack. And Al Michaels came back from a commercial when they showed the split screen and says, well, I got 2 Jacks here. The one on the right is hoping that the Lakers will win tonight so that they can go play Game 6 back in LA, which never happened. So that was quite a thrill, that whole weekend of the NBA Finals. So for me, it's quieted down a lot. The big paid gigs with the corporate stuff and the Oscar parties are pretty much a thing of the past. But I still have some fun. Thank God he's still alive. Every now and then I go out and somebody for a few seconds will really think it's him and come up and start talking to me. But most of the time people will see a resemblance and just kind of like ask for a picture, which is fine. And there's a guy in town that looks like Tom Cruise. And he and I have been hanging out together for the past few years. Hey, you want to go here? You want to go there? Concert or event or something? We hook up. And if you remember, Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson were in the movie A Few Good Men. So he and I have been having some fun doing a few things. But by and large, when I was making a little bit of money, which was fun, those days are kind of gone. And who knows how much longer Jack's going to be around. But he's kind of gone into retirement. And I guess, there's a million other things I could tell you about. But by and large, I just basically got a lot of really good memories and had a chance to meet a lot of really great people over the last, 20, 30 years here now. And I guess that's the way we'll end it.